Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everybody. So in this video, I want to talk about and I want to show you some things of our past that we don't really understand. I see a lot of people still don't grasp whatever happened. Yeah, still don't understand that the powers that be write the history. Okay? So you better listen to me and you get a history 101 right now. This information is very important even in the current day, anno 2024. All right? You can watch another YouTube video where Bibi Netanyahu says that the Austrian painter, I will call him, didn't want to kill the Jews. He wanted to expel them. An Arab told him to kill the Jews. So who is this Arab Bibi Netanyahu was talking about? So who was this Arab Bibi Netanyahu was talking about? It is Mohammed Amin al-Husseini, the great Mufti of Jerusalem and the leader of the Palestinian people. And not only that, but a great great grandson of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yes, they did have an alliance, World War II, Germany and Palestine. In this time, most of the Arab world was colonized by European powers, including Britain, France, etc. And they created a group called the Free Arab Legion. Arab made a promise. It's actually pretty similar to the like the promise of the British, because Hitler promised a free Arabian state in the confines of the old caliphate. So if we go look at a map right now, that will mean from Iraq to Morocco and everything in between in North Africa and the Middle East would be a free Arab state. Yes, and I will make a more in-depth video about the Bolsheviks and the Communist Revolution, etc. This video, I want to go more in-depth on the alliance and actually the results of the alliance between Germany and the Free Arabs and what it did for the modern Arab world and the situation in this modern conflict. And there is a whole lot of misinformation and disinformation, especially because people are absolutely biased. Yeah, the lies are you get told the lies from start to finish. Yeah, you get born, you go to primary school, whatever you call that, it starts already at the youngest age. Yeah, your parents will start telling you about Second World War or whatever. It's on TV everywhere, and you just get this picture. They put the horror music on the back. They show it like, oh, and it's the same with Russia right now. If you'd believe the Western media propaganda, Putin is almost dead. He's sick. He's dying. Yeah. He can't do anything. Russia is failing all the time. He's super evil, whatever. Just look at the death rates between Ukraine and Palestine. It's crazy. You cannot even compare the two. Yeah, the West has compared Adolf to Putin as well. So just look at that, and actually, who is the greatest? If you would really say so, a neo-Nazi, I actually call them Bolsheviks, because they are communist, Marxist Bolsheviks, not the National Socialist word, because we do a very great injustice to National Socialism, and they demonize the Germans just like they demonize Muslims. And that's why Muslims, especially, need to understand how this demonization of people works. Yeah, how that works through propaganda, how you demonize people through making fake news on TV, etc., creating false flag events that you orchestrate yourself. Yeah, it's clear and obvious to me, but it seems like nobody else understands. So I'm willing to make some videos to explain this to you people. So in 1915, by the promise of England to the Arabs revolted against the Ottomans. They thought in exchange of having their own free state. So Sir Henry McMahon, the High Commissioner of Egypt, sent a letter to Sharif Hussein of a promise of an independent state if the Arabs would join in the cause of the British. So this is where we come to the part of the Balfour Declaration and Sykes-Picot. With the Sykes-Picot, the Middle East got divided. Arabs were promised a free state, but Britain said that excluded Syria and Palestine. Yeah, so Iraq went to the brother of Sharif Hussein, Faisal al Hussein, and Jordan went to his son Abdullah. So, in the meanwhile, the Arabs were betrayed and disgruntled. In other parts, they were just rebuilding after the Ottomans left. After all this war, World War One was a heavy ordeal also for the Arab world. I'll also put a video in the link. World War One through Arab eyes. It's very revealing because you can see exactly how much it impacted the societies over there. In that time, people always focus on Europe, but Europe was not the only war theater. There were also other war theaters. And this is also where the resistance got started already, of course. The free Arabs are everywhere. You got different tribes, and they work with different benefactors, so to say. The communists were already busy, the British, the French, the Italians, the Germans. Everybody was trying to get some fingers into the pot. So it's very important to talk about the alliance between Germany and Palestine because everything that's happening today is a result of what happened back then. In the Sykes-Picot Agreement, etc., Lawrence of Arabia, and the betrayal of Great Britain to the Arabs. So I'm also going to make a more in-depth video about Jewish extremist terrorism in that time. But make note that that was a fact. In the time in between, there was a lot of struggle also in Palestine. Even though these people were trying to build up a nation for themselves, yeah, under colonial British rule back then, there was a lot of resistance, not only Muslim resistance, there was Jewish resistance, and there was terrorism. There was a lot of terrorism. There's a lot of documents about the terrorism in those times. In those times, Germany created a pact with the Arabs. As said, they created an office in Palestine and they started arming the Arab resistance. They started forming militias. Yeah, so what you get is that Amin al-Husseini gets ousted by the British, and this is where he really starts to get the beneficiary from Germany. So we didn't yet talk about the alliance between Amin al-Husseini and Adolf, because actually they were pretty close friends, and they had many visits over. They showed weaponry to each other and technologies. And actually, Germany was the greatest benefactor of the Arabs. So everybody who's talking bad about Germany doesn't understand. But without Germany, there wouldn't be any free Arab state. For example, Egypt would never be able to become independent of British rule without Germany. Not people, many people know this. This is actually pretty like unknown, secret even, or just you're not allowed to talk about it, or people would not understand because you think these Nazis, Germany is totally evil, everybody's evil, they're total demons, so nothing can be good. You see, it's not true. And in this modern time, I think now I can talk about it because we see very plain and clear the imperialist and the evil of the British and the Americans, etc. So, essentially, to make it a shorter video and a short story, Amin al Hussein was ousted in 1937 by the British and put in exile. This is where the real German Arab alliance fermented in the form of a militant resistance. And here we have also one instance, actually, I'm going to show you the documentation of it, of a a military attack within Palestine from a German resistance movement. As a matter of fact, these are things that are highly suppressed, this kind of information, because the Germans were helping the Arabs in the fight against the colonial powers. So Amin al Husseini he fled to Iraq. And what happened in Iraq? Well, I will tell you. Amin al Husseini left in 1937. In 1941, there was a revolution in Iraq where Rashid Ali al Gailani from the faction Golden Square ousted the pro British government. Together, they would create the first official Free Arab Legion, the army of Iraq in that time, with Amin al Husseini and Ali al Gailani. So this Free Arab Legion was actually an accumulation of old factions that all already fought in the Second World War for Germany and in their respective countries. They were spread out through multiple regions, and yeah, like you should know, is that Secret Service is one of Germany's assets, and they work very much in covert. So a lot of these things aren't well known. They aren't well documented. There isn't that much evidence, and the evidence there is actually suppressed. So I'm very interested about the subject. I'm interested to talk about it, and I want to make more in-depth videos. If you're also interested, let me know. If you're from Iraq or other regions and you know more and you have more information, please let me know. So if you like this video, put a like and a subscribe and I will make more. So the whole point for me for this video was to react to another video that was made because everything is so biased. Arabs as well as Germans get completely demonized. But actually, yeah, the Austrian painter was not such a bad guy, and Amin al Husseini was also not such a bad guy. And we Arabs and the Germans are very much betrayed, and this needs to stop. We are gonna change history forever. Yeah, never surrender and never back down. Niemals capituleren. I think it's time for totaler Krieg.